The Marble Survival Tournament has represented grit, determination, difficulty in the face of long odds, so many factors that are at play both for you and against you, not to mention all the competitors that you have to beat along the way. It is a race of attrition, but it is also a race not of perfection, but of strategy. Don't finish last. That's the only edict there is. If you can avoid that, you will move on. Facing our competitors in this course, the fidget spinner mashers, the side sweepers, the ball-bearing bashers, the ball-bearing magnets, the popsicle barriers, heading into that wave section. The crazy chevron is ready to go, coiled up. Here are all of the marbles that have not made it to the final event of this tournament, and here are the 8 who have. 2 teams here today have made it into the top 3 back in the Marble Survival 100. They have a chance to get top 3 again in season number 2. Pinky Panther up there in the priority lane, and we are off. Just a few events to go within sight of the finish line. There goes the fidget spinner, and it has some hard hits. Whoa! Dash went airborne on the impact. Shimmer was far enough back there after the impact that actually made it okay around that fidget spinner, avoiding more hits. Those 3 blue marbles together. That's Diego, Gnome, and Dash. Farther down, Fudge from the Chocolatiers is in the lead. Pinky Panther gets sent backwards by one of the side sweepers. Here go the ball bearings. Swax is in the middle of them and feels just how solid those are. They've managed to catch each other, those ball bearings, so they actually limited what damage they could do. Shimmer has caught up to the back of the pack and sneaks on by out of last place. Up front, it is Yella from Mellow Yellow. Swax from the Bumblebees. There goes one of the Popsicles, directing them toward the middle. Diego briefly had the lead. Here comes the Chevron, and it catches nearly everybody. At least among the leaders. Down at the bottom, Yella finishes first, and then it is a race clambering into that pinch point, which is the finish line, and left out to dry, that's Gnome for the Cobalts. There you can see Gnome taking a hit. There was the airborne moment by Dash. Swax and Pinky Panther getting that first side sweeper. I think Yella caught the second one. There is where Shimmer got by Gnome. Crazy Chevron delivering some whacks for just about everyone, maybe not Diego on the top side. Gnome makes it to the final event, but in the first round of that final event is eliminated. Yella wins this round, round 25 of what will be 31. See, it's so arduous, they trimmed off 1. I'm just kidding. All right, Yella up in that top lane. 7 marbles remain. Down we go. And Yella, taking full advantage, makes it to that pinch point and comes out in the lead. Desperately trying to sneak by, but the fidget spinner masher goes. Oh, 2 really hard hits for Fudge from the Chocolatiers. We'll have to see on replay. There were at least 2 other marbles that took some very solid impacts that left them shaken. Shimmer in the lead at this point. That was a very delayed, subtle hit on that side sweeper. Quite strategic by the Shining Swarm member. And that gives Shimmer some space. Most of the obstacles at that point have been tripped for Fudge, who's got to dig deep here to avoid elimination in 7th place. Can almost see the back of the field. Shimmer went through that top portion, not through the waves. Let's see if that is the faster or slower way. Remember, they've only had 1 look at this course. A little hiccup from the Crazy Chevron doesn't deliver all the power that it had coiled. And once again, here is Fudge on the rundown. Nearly everybody finishes. Yes, there we go. Everybody has finished. Fudge from the Chocolatiers will come in 7th. Chocolatiers fans are absolutely thrilled with that, though. They have seen their team member do oh so much, but 2 hits from that fidget spinner. You saw the first one a moment ago. Here comes the second. Only so much you can do at that point. but they are standing and saluting a top 10 finish for Fudge. Shimmer from the Shining Swarm will get the priority lane next time around for round 27 of 31. Now, we've heard that for the final 3 races, that fast track bonus up there is going to go away. It's just going to be a straight fight out of the gate. Down they come once more. It is Dash at the back of the field right now, but a great move, but can't avoid the fidget spinner. Gets caught in the corner 3-4 times. Also sent backwards was Swax, who left the screen for quite some time before eventually continuing to descend down the course. There's Swax from the Bumblebees. Looking at the results of the Marble Survival 100, it was Swax who came in third. He's trying to do better this time around. The ball bearings have been released. It sends Yella backwards. It sends Diego sideways. Swax, quite some distance to make up in the final half of this course. Needs to slalom a bit quicker than that. Meanwhile, down below, Shimmer gets by the Crazy Chevron without triggering it. Good move there by Yella to get by. Also misses the trigger. There it goes, but really only helps Diego, who gets launched forward on the recoil. 3 have finished, 4, 5 have finished, and that makes it a foregone conclusion. It won't be a top 3 for the Bumblebees. It will be a top 6. Still, one incredible result in the second season of the Marble Survival Tournament. Here was a key moment. Pinky Panther went airborne. That's where Swax not only went backward, but just disappeared for a while. Had to find a different way down the course after regrouping. The fidget spinner sending that marble into last week. Swax from the Bumblebees just missed out on a top 5. Comes home in 6th, and in the run down to the line, it was a duel originally between Shimmer and Pinky Panther. Dash sneaks by. Says, don't mind if I do. So Dash will try to live up to the name here in round 28 on that top side. Just a few rounds left. It's getting closer and closer every single one. The moves, the errors all become magnified at this point. Pinky Panther took a lot of hits right there. Shimmer, same thing. They are still getting batted backward. And as they finally leave the fidget spinner masher, Pinky Panther is in last. Briefly had a look on the inside of Shimmer. Tries to do it again, and this time makes the move stick. Let's see if Shimmer can pull the over-under. Nope, we take a look down at the side sweeper, which is deployed. The second side sweeper puts Dash many lengths behind at that point. The ball bearings triggered there. Will the other one go? No. It stays stuck. Shimmer almost had a move made there, but the door closed very quickly by Pinky Panther. Crazy Chevron hits Diego, and oh, that was a dangerous point where Diego could have gotten stuck, and instead lives to roll another day. Shimmer is way back there. Diego will get the win in front of Dash and Yella. Pinky Panther comes through in 4th. And that is astounding because Pinky Panther was side by side with Shimmer through most of that course. And instead, the gap at the end ends up being rather sizable. Here is when they still were lockstep. The side-to-sides was where they went back and forth. Oh, right there. That was a key move. Perhaps goading Shimmer to go up that little pyramid. And instead, on the roll backwards, ends up behind a wall while Pinky Panther dances off into the distance. Dash, once again, those finish line heroics. Remember, it's not under the banner. It is where they enter that single file phase. And here we go. Final 3 races. No priority lane. 4 marbles side by side in a straight run to the line to keep their hopes alive to win the Marble Survival Tournament Championship. Dash in the lead. Pinky Panther trying to go to the inside and works together with Diego to seal that off. And just like that, Dash goes into last, but let's see him seesaw back and forth. Dash goes into second now. Pinky Panther tries to go wide and does work around 2 marbles to get back into second place. Diego at the point. Contact in the yellow portion there. Pinky Panther goes back ahead. It took 3 impacts to trigger that first side sweeper, not so on the bottom one. It impacted Dash most of anyone. Both ball bearings triggering and quivering back and forth. An outside move and a burst of speed from Pinky Panther. And wow, that was a definitive move that has given Pinky Panther a cushion into the bottom part of this course, but the Crazy Chevron will try to take it away. Just 1 hit. And that's all. Pinky Panther gets by relatively unscathed. Dash in second. Yes, Pinky Panther cruises to a win. With all that clear track, you notice how the marbles play this one differently. It is more inclined to speed. The obstacles are what they will be. And Diego will come up short, just misses the podium in 4th place. The moves are a lot more frenetic in this round as they relate to each other. You're not triggering so many traps because the risk-reward is outweighed a little bit there on the risk side. Some do get triggered, but just by happenstance. Unlucky bounce there for Diego, hitting that point of one of the on-track barriers. Pinky Panther wins, but there's no priority at this point. It's just momentum, perhaps. Three to go. One of these, Yella, was in the top 3. The runner-up, in fact, of the Marble Survival 100. Down they come. Who will continue on the march? And who will get the bronze? Pinky Panther and Yella in front of Dash, but Dash seems to do well in the bottom part of this course especially. Trying to position and hoping for an impact there to gain some spots. Couldn't do it through the first 2 tries. Can he do it this time? The marble does! Dash finds Pinky Panther waiting on the recoil and takes the lead because of it. Bumps against the trigger. All 3 of them get by. Same thing for both side sweepers on the bottom. Will they trigger the ball bearings? Dash does. The second one goes, but stays in its cage. Dash in the lead. Pinky Panther peeking over the shoulder through the slaloms. Yella is back there. Dash clears Pinky Panther, does not bother with the popsicle, goes topside. Now it falls, and that middle lane appears to be quicker. Pinky Panther goes to the lead, but the Crazy Chevron swats that marble backwards. Yella takes P1 right now. Where is Dash? Right there. Yella will come down to the pinch point, win round 2, and unless Dash can do it at the end, not this time. No finish line heroics can save Dash, as Pinky Panther goes into second place. We'll move on. And the Turtle Sliders have gained a 3rd place. Once again on the rundown, you look at where the opportunities were compared to where they could have lost time. This was a lot of playing the averages. Lots of speed, too, if you look at the times. So Yella wins and will go head-to-head with Pinky Panther. Side by side for the final race to crown a champion in the Marble Survival Tournament. Down they go. Yella quickest to that first point. As they go back and forth, you can see the speed building. Contact there. Pinky Panther goes up into lead and shuts the door on Yella as they begin the side-to-sides. Let's see if they avoid contact with each other. Yella is desperately going to be trying to get in Pinky Panther's way. Can't do it there for a second time. Is third time the charm? Yes! Yella makes the move stick. Through the yellow portion of the course. Pinky Panther gets by and deploys the side sweeper. Sends Yella backwards. This is the biggest gap that they've had in this race so far. But Pinky Panther goes wide. Yella is able to get through into the slaloms. Back and forth they go. Through the red left-hander, now to the blue. Pinky Panther tries for the collision and gets it. Nudges against the trigger, but the popsicle does not fall. Both of our leaders take the top line. They are forced into it. They come together, and Yella shoulders by, only to get clouded by the crazy chevron. Pinky Panther is sent down the course en route to a championship. Yella finishes second for the second year running. What a race that was. Two crafty marbles who know this game well. There was a crucial moment. First to the trigger when it's head-to-head like that, you know you've got to do it. And coming right back there, Pinky Panther sees that impact. This was the moment of the race. Choosing to trigger the crazy chevron, not in a great spot, and on the swing back, it's a boost for Pinky Panther, a team that was introduced in the Marble League in 2016. Pinky Panther added as a reserve before the Marble League in 2018. Fast forward, and that marble has delivered a championship to the Pinkies. Winner of the Marble Survival Tournament. What redemption for a team that finished dead last in the Marble League 2020 qualifiers. They had a rough stretch for a while. They did qualify back for the Marble League in 2022. This is a team that has 6 times been in the Marble League. They won it back in 2022. And they put all of their hopes on Pinky Panther, who for 31 races never finished in last. Taking a look at the final standings. Up on the podium, Pinky Panther with the gold, Yella with the silver, and Dash with the bronze. Diego just missed out over Shimmer. Swax, Fudge, Gnome, Hop, and Misty rounding out the top 10. But even the marbles that were eliminated very early in this tournament stayed around to salute those who survived. And thank you for staying with us as well. For Yella's Marble Runs, I'm Greg Woods. We'll see you next time.